really quick update time because we're about to head out. I'm so out of breath because of the altitude and all I did was brush my teeth.
Explain what happened this morning.
Yes, so this morning we got up at the right time of 3 a.m. 2:45 is when we woke up. We had like 3 hours of sleep or something, and we were like, whatever, live, laugh, love. Because we were going to go to Umate Lake, like I said in the last vlog, if you watched the last one. I was like, oh yeah, we're waking up and going. No. So I actually got the dates wrong. We're going tomorrow. So we were up at the right time of 3 a.m. for no reason. So we came back and we went straight back to bed, straight back to sleep. And we woke up at 9:30 and then just went to the buffet breakfast here. And then we've just been sitting in bed finishing up planning of stuff that we need to do. We're about to head into town, go book our stuff, go to the zoo. I'm so excited for that. It's not a zoo, it's a centre for animals that have been in the illegal wildlife trade. So that's really exciting. Apparently they have really cool animals there, like pumas and bears and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go to the markets finally and buy some cool stuff. I'm going to buy some pants and a bum bag maybe. I'm a bit on the fence. I have a very tight budget now because I just budgeted everything and I'm $600 over budget now, but you know what? It's fine. Live and you learn. So yeah, that's the really quick update. I can't stop staring at the view outside instead of looking at the camera. This hotel is just the best hotel we've stayed at. They have free filtered water and everything, which is really nice of them. But yeah, I think that's all I have to update you on. And hopefully I can include some clips of the zoo and stuff. Update again. We're so out of breath. So, long story short, I didn't film anything in the markets because I was too busy living life, Bought a few things, bought some stuff for people back home. I hope you're all excited. Brie and Sophie tried ice cream, and apparently it was really good. They're icy poles, this lady selling them on the street. And the chocolate, oh my gosh, so we went to a chocolate store and he gave us this complimentary, it was a tea. He said it was water, cacao and sugar, and it was yellow and it was hot, and it was so yummy, not too sweet, but it was chocolatey, but it was weird because it was yellow, I don't know. But it was really nice, and they were free. And then we all bought little chocolates. I tried this orange one that Brie had, and it was caramelly orange, definitely the best one. I would give that 10 out of 10 stars in my books. And then we had fruit one? Yeah, so then we also had this chocolate one with an almond on top, and it had just I think it was just chocolate fruit and nut sort of vibe. And then we also had another one that was chocolate and it had dried Peruvian fruit. It's I don't know what he said. I could probably look it up, maybe put it on the screen, because I know what one he's talking about. I just don't know what it's called. But yes, so that was super yummy as well. I would give that one probably a 7 out of 10, and the almond one probably also a 7 out of 10. They were good, but the orange one was just banging. And then yeah, we walked back and the altitude's really getting to us. We do be dying. It was literally mostly flat. There was some hills, but we're just dead. And yeah, I think that's all we did. Brie got a pisco sour in a takeaway cup. That was pretty fun.
Coffee cup?
Yeah, in a takeaway coffee cup. And now we're just relaxing, hoping to go to the zoo in town still. It's not the zoo that I was talking about in the last section because we got confused that that's a different zoo. But it is another zoo that does rescued animals as well. It's just not as big. I think there's just monkeys and some birds and stuff. There's no bears or pumas, I don't think. Which is sad, but the other one is in the Sacred Valley and the Uber is 50 Australian dollars. And we do be on a budget, so we don't know. We might do it on our next day off, depending if we can get the cost down. That is all. update time again. Just really quick one. I'm going to do my skincare again because I just am trying to save time. So long story short, the zoo that we were meant to go to, we ended up thinking we were going to go to a different one that's in Cuzco. And we got in the Uber and he was like, oh no, we think it's closed. And it's not very good. Like, he's like, you should go to the one in the Sacred Valley. And we were like, oh yeah, like we were told about that. One man quoted us 140 sol, which is like $80 or something. Like, it's ridiculous. Maybe less, maybe like $50 between us. And we were like, nah, like it's probably just not worth it. This Uber driver was like, I'll do it for 25 sol, which is like $6. So he drove us 45 minutes up to this zoo. Got to see like a bunch of ruins on the way past and everything, which was really fun. And so then we got to the zoo and he was like, oh, do you want me to stay and I'll take you back down? And we were like, slay king, yes. He just charged us 25 for the way down as well. Didn't charge a waiting fee, didn't do anything. He came into the zoo with us, which was so nice, and like talked about the animals and stuff because he's been a few times. And he was telling us about the toucan that you saw in the clip. It was really sick, and it was rescued. And it's been looking so much better since the last time he saw it. He's like, the beak has really like healed because it has a quite a beat up beak. And that was like really good news. And then that was really sweet of him. And then because we were the only people, it was just Brie and I that went. Sophie wasn't feeling well. And we were the only people at the zoo. And so one of the workers, he gave us a tour basically, and he was telling us about the animals, and like he let us take a photo with the condor, the one that flew. Not too close. I can maybe insert a photo. I'm not sure if I can insert photos in vlogs. I'm not that advanced. But he let us take a photo, obviously not too close because you're not allowed to touch any of the animals or anything because it's a wildlife sanctuary, which is really good. You don't want to touch the animals. Sorry, I'm really out of breath. The altitude is getting to me. So that was like super fun. And he gave us like all the details about everything. And he told us like they release condors back into the wild, like, and they'll release the ones that they had at the moment. But they don't release the bears because they were babies when they were rescued and they rely on humans. And same with the monkeys. So yeah, he was telling us like what ones they release, what ones they don't. Just, yeah, everything about them. And that was super helpful. And then after the zoo, the Uber that came in with us, he took us back down and he took us like a long scenic route where we went past more ruins, free of charge. So it was so nice of him, and he dropped us right out the front of our hotel in Cuzco. And so it was 50 sol for the trip, and we gave him 20 sol tip, even though he was an Uber technically, but we paid him cash, a bit illegal, but you know. And we tried to give him like the 20 sol tip, and he was like, no, it's only 50. And we were like, King, it's a tip. Like, this was like a 2.5 hour trip that he just did for 50 sol, which is like $17 between the two of us. So yeah, that was really sweet. And then we went down to the booking stuff and we booked Machu Picchu and Manu National Park, which I will get into in a later snippet. But the booking man, so helpful, so sweet. Long story short, we booked everything. He was really helpful. It was great. And then we went to dinner at a restaurant that he recommended that does traditional Peruvian foods. And because he knows the worker, we got 3 free pisco sours, which is like the national drink here because we don't have pisco in Australia, I don't think. It's like the vodka of Peru, except it's not vodka, it's pisco. And like they're so yummy. We got the passion fruit flavour and they're like 10 out of 10. Have to try if you're ever in Peru. So that was really nice. We did get some disappointing news that our Humante Lake tour for tomorrow is cancelled because there's scheduled to be protests in Cuzco, so we couldn't do it. But that's okay. Like, you live and you laugh. Might see if we can maybe Uber up there. It's a very long way, so I highly doubt it. But I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Just more markets. There's one more market spot that we want to check out. Book flights for Galapagos Islands and all that stuff, which you'll see later on in different vlogs. We're doing lots of travelling. And yeah, we're sleeping in. Oh, so excited to sleep. And now we're just back at the hotel. Just showered. I'm wearing this to bed because it's kind of cold. So that's fun. But yeah, I think that's all we have to update you on for right now. Hello everybody, apologies that I have not updated. This is going to be a long one, so if you don't want to hear me talking about things that we've done, skip to the end because it's probably going to be a solid 5 or 6 minutes. So we went to the markets and I cannot find non-striped pants anywhere. Not even like solid color. I want like patchwork pants. Don't exist. They're all like an ugly stripe. And I'm like, what? Come on, Peru. Like, come on. Anyway, sorry, I'm reading off my list because look at how much stuff I have to update on. So when we were down the street, I tried Peruvian passion fruit. It's called like something. I'll put it on the screen because I can't pronounce it. And I also tried a native fruit, which I will also put on the screen because I can't remember the name of it. I'm bad, I know. And they were both really sweet and like really good. This lady was just like selling them on the street and like they cut them open. The Peruvian fruit, they're like cut open and you just eat it, just like eat the flesh of the fruit part. Whereas the passion fruit, they cut off the top and you like suck it out. It's really weird, but like it's so yummy. And then we walked through protests. That was a little bit concerning, but so we saw them coming and it all looked peaceful. It all looked okay. So we stuck to the side and there was so many people protesting. They were just like lots of air horns, lots of signs and flags, and there's people cheering them on and like lots of that, but it was all safe, all was well, except for that night or that day in Lima. We're in Cuzco, but that day in Lima, there was like tear gas, gunshots, like a building burnt down because of the protests, so we were very lucky. Probably won't be doing that again. One-time thing. We had gluten-free, well, I didn't have gluten-free pizza, but Brie had gluten-free pizza. That is just insane. There's like no gluten-free food here. So that was really exciting. And right, so Rainbow Mountain also got cancelled that night, and we rebooked it, and then we were doing the Sacred Valley. I'm just putting this all in one video because this is like 3 days worth of stuff. So we did the Sacred Valley today, which was really good. We visited, where did we visit? Some place, some ruins, some Inca ruins, and we learnt about the Incas and how some of them is like in the rainforest. Like there's not any Incas in Peru anymore, like on the streets. Like people aren't like Incan that they proudly know of. They're like in the rainforest, like they're gone. Then we visited the salt mines and ate like salted Peruvian chocolate, which is so good. I also bought like an orange flavored one. It was just so yum. There was also a litter of kittens at the salt mines and we patted the kittens. And then we washed our hands afterwards, but they were so cute. And then we headed to another spot and there were so many rocks on the road because of the protests. Like people are trying to stop cars from driving on the road. So there's like boulders everywhere, which is odd. But you know, live, love, laugh. And then we got caught on the way back home to Cuzco, we got caught at one and these people wouldn't let us through, and like our poor tour guide got like his hand burnt, and like it was just a whole thing. It was a whole ordeal. He looked pretty roughed up. I don't know, pretty scared. So that was a bit sad, but we made it through. We're home now and all was well. We booked flights to the Galapagos finally for an insane amount of money because the flight centre lady just was She was very helpful, but they're very expensive flights. Cusco Airport was closed yesterday, and so was Lima Airport. I think it reopened today, but the protests aren't looking good, so we're hoping that it's all right for us. Other little notes I have is there is a surprising amount of combis and Beetles around, which Mum would really enjoy. I'm sure she's watching this. Lots of like Volkswagens around, just chilling, and they're quite cool, quite vintage. And everything that we did today on the tour that we did, the Sacred Valley tour, shows like really how self-sufficient everyone is. There's a clip that I'll put in, it's probably already been put in before this, where there's a clip of like the wool, and they dye the wool with like corn or cactus or like stuff like that. I know that they make the stuff, but I didn't realize like how much they like made it. And they even wash the fresh alpaca wool with like this natural soap. It's like a part of a tree, and they grate it, and then they like in the water, and it like makes a soap, makes like a shampoo, and then they wash the wool and like dye it and like hang it out, and then they weave it. And they were showing us all this stuff, and it looks really hard. Couldn't be me. Right, that is everything that I have to update you on. Sorry that was so long. Oh no, there's one more thing. So you know how I said we rebooked Rainbow Mountain? That was actually rebooked for tomorrow, and it got cancelled. So we're not doing Rainbow Mountain. A little disheartening, but you know, we're here. It's a privilege to be able to travel. We might be doing the Seven Lagoons, maybe. Yeah, so that was pretty shit, because Rainbow Mountain is like the most touristy thing you could do. But it's okay. Another day. I'll have to come back for it. That is all. Good night.